If you are considering getting an MBA, or if you are an MBA student today, you might be wondering what kind of salaries would you expect in 2020? Well, in this video, what I'm going to talk about is the salaries for the top industries that I see people getting into, specifically the management consulting, investment banking, technology, and then other. And more importantly, I'll talk about the different components of the salary, such as the sign-on bonus, the salary, year-end bonus, and then the upside or the equity. I will also give you some tips in terms of how to get interviews in each one of these industries. So with that, stick around until the end. Let's go. All right, before I forget, I will share a short guide with you that you're able to download for free. And what I've done in this guide is I've compiled all of my experience going through a bunch of interviews in pretty much all of these industries, and the lessons learned that will help you get through the process faster and get a step closer to that dream job that you really want. All right, cool. So let's get started. Management consulting. What's the sign-on bonus? Well, the sign-on bonus is about $30,000. It depends from one firm to another, but typically it's about $30,000. The salary today is about $160K. Now, it really depends on whether it's McKinsey, Bain, BCG, but typically it's about $160K. Might be lower, might be higher, but around that. And then for the year-end bonus, what you get is about $45K. Again, it ranges, but it typically is around $45K in 2020. And then the upside, there is really no equity. Sometimes the management consulting companies contribute to your 401k, but there is really no equity. Now, in terms of work-life balance, management consulting is a popular industry, but it does require a lot of hours that you put in, a lot of travel. You're pretty much expected to be on the road from Monday through Thursday every single week. Not every single week, but most of the weeks out of the year. And so, yeah, it's really tough on the work-life balance, but it is considered to be a springboard for your career because of the experience that you get and the people that you meet and the network that you develop. So yeah, a lot of people go to management consulting. Now, for investment banking, sign-on bonus is $40K. And then you have your salary of $150K, something around that. And then your bonus is actually about 100%. So it's another $150K. No upside there as well. So you can see that it is significantly bigger than management consulting, but if management consulting requires a lot of hours, typically investment banking requires even more hours. So people go there again to get a springboard in their career. And for some people, it's a very valuable experience and it does pay well. Now, one thing to note is, again, how do you typically get an interview in management consulting and investment banking? Well, you have to take advantage of all of the events that the firms, companies are throwing at your school, and you have to network with the professionals at those industries so that they can help you get a foot in the door and get that first interview so that you can then take all of your skills and use those to advance through the process. But you have to get your foot in the door, and typically you have to go to events, you have to show up, and you have to network. So that's management consulting, investment banking. For technology, typically the sign-on bonus is something between $15K and $30K. And in here, you would expect to make, something between $120K to $140K, depending on the position, the company, and the geographical location. So let's put $150K again. If you're in the Bay Area, it's probably going to be closer to $150K. If you're somewhere else, it might be closer to $120K. So it really depends, but it's somewhere in that range. And then there is typically huge upside because if you go to a startup, you get what's called stock options, which could be worth a lot later on. If you go to a big technology company, you get what's called restricted stock units or RSUs. They vest over 4 years and could also be a good component of your compensation. So that is definitely one thing that is unique to technology. Another thing to note too is that usually people get into management consulting, investment banking for a springboard to advance their career. People go to tech because they have passion and because they want to stay in tech, right? So for example, I found my dream job in technology and I am very passionate about technology and I want to stay in that industry. So that's technology. The way to get an interview in technology is, you have to really go through multiple routes. You have to apply on companies' websites because they typically, post positions as they become available. So for example, in consulting, they say, we want to hire X number of associates in a certain office, so we're going to hire we're going to go out and hire that many associates. For tech, they usually open up positions as they become available, unless they have MBA recruiting and they work with your school, but typically they have positions that become available that you can apply for. You also should network, so if you found a position, you should reach out to people in the company, hopefully that went to the same school that you went to, and you have to, again, initiate a conversation and then potentially ask for a referral, because the referrals are looked at first. It's usually, internal job candidates, then people that are referred, and then lastly, it's the people that applied through external websites. So definitely get a referral here. And then other, and when I say other, it could be different industry and different positions. There's really a wide range of different things that you could do. You could be a finance manager, marketing manager, product manager. You could be, in a CPG company, or you could be in a manufacturing company. There's tons of things that you could do. But generally, the sign-on bonus ranges between 0, because some companies just don't give a sign-on bonus, to something like $30,000. And then your salary also ranges somewhere between 100K to 140K. And that is also dependent on the company, position, and geographical location. Typically, there is no equity. You could get what's called like a stock purchase plan, where you can contribute money and get some discount. I believe it's 15% to buy the shares of the company if it's a public company. But there's, you really don't get equity for joining that company that later vests. So just something to keep in mind. Now, the work-life balance is a lot better here. The career opportunities, the career advancement is not as fast, because you don't put that many hours, because you don't get that as much of that experience as you do, management consulting, investment banking. But, it's still a very good opportunity to get into, a company and get into an industry and then work as a marketing manager, finance manager, etc. Because having that MBA will definitely help you advance in your career. So now that's all of them. If this resonates with you, if this is in line with what you're hearing or with your own research, drop a note in a comment below. Even if you disagree, or you found something that doesn't align to what you're getting, maybe the offers you're getting, still leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to learn more about that. But that's from what I've heard, what I've researched from other people that I work with. So, I just want to make sure that I share this with you. Now, this is Ivan with the MBAJobSecrets.com. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing below. I post a lot of valuable content on this topic, on the topic of getting your dream job after an MBA. And as promised, I am also going to share a short guide that I put together for you, and the way to download it for free is by going to MBAJobSecrets.com. There's a link to that in the description below, and you can download it there and go click deeper into the interviewing process, and it will give you some tips on how to differentiate yourself so that you can get as many interviews as possible and you can land that dream job, that dream six-figure job that you truly deserve and want. So with that, thanks a lot for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.